Hey guys, okay, so I waited a little bit to kind of let everything die down about Commander-in-Chief visiting. I know I'm gonna make some people mad, but I've always spoke about the truth, and my channel's called Veterans for Truth, meaning that I speak candidly about protecting our military and such things. And the thing is, I want you to think about this. Think about it really hard. If our last president would have done this, what do you think you would think at this time? I know exactly what people would think, because if we think back to and how those special operations Navy SEALs were compromised, their families were compromised, people were livid. Everyone was livid, as they should have been, because he compromised all of them when Osama bin Laden, whatever. Supposedly it didn't happen like that, but what he did was he plastered it everywhere. Oh, these are the brave SEALs that did this, and the special forces, and blah blah blah. And if you go back videos, you'll hear from one of the fathers that was absolutely livid when this happened. He got a call from Aaron, his son, saying, get off social media, shut down everything, you are all now targets. Because that's what happens when you essentially show the faces and the position of where special forces are. You have just compromised not only their mission, which we could say it's legal, not exactly, no, but that's not the point. It compromises them, their families, and the entire mission. It just does. Extortion 17. Putting out all of those people for the world, or any of our enemies or whatever that would like to do harm to this special, take their family hostage, whatever the case may be. And that's why everybody was so upset did it. And for nobody to even talk about this shows me that you're just so blindly following. It doesn't matter what he does wrong, you're still continuing just to give him a pass on this, give him a pass on that. You're gonna give him a pass on compromising our special forces, the war areas, and shown all the sailors or all the soldiers, Marines, whatever. And it's just a big sea of people. But when you tweet out a picture saying, look, they're in their night vision goggles, oh, it didn't say that, while he's in Iraq, you're showing their faces. From what I've seen, they didn't realize that he was going to tweet the picture out. They just thought it was just a picture for him. Maybe later on he would keep it, or, you know, I think the chaplain wanted a picture or something along those lines. But they weren't going to post it on Twitter, especially while they're still there. Posting it later on, whatever, that's different. It's still not exactly wise to say, this is SEAL Team 5. Look where they are. They're right. Come and get them. And everybody's just ignoring this. And that really upsets me, because it just shows me that there's zero critical thinking skills, or just a complete bias by everyone. Y'all, this is not right versus, this is This is national security, our Navy SEAL team compromised. I mean, then we have generals saying that it was completely embarrassing, that he went out there, didn't even speak to the elite. They didn't even know he was going. And that is just not, I just don't follow things blindly. If somebody does something good, I'm gonna say it. If they do something that's completely wrong, I'm going to say it. And for people saying, oh, it's no big deal, it's no big deal. Was it a big deal with the last president? When it ended up getting, well, I'm not gonna go there with what happened video. You might wanna watch that. Well, there's 2 or 3 of them. It just really makes me sad for people just still blindly following. He then turned it into a political event. And he blatantly lied, saying that this was their first raise in 10 years and it was like 10% or something. And it's just false. I mean, first of all, the military deserves a much bigger raise. But and they have, I mean, they deserve, we make pennies, you know, especially when you first join, you're making pennies, and you're gonna go and die for your country for pennies because of our patriotism and thinking we're doing the right thing. But he lied about that because they had a raise before, with the last president. I understand being excited that, you know, the commander-in-chief shows up. It actually is kind of a headache. I mean, if anybody, you know, anybody that's been in the military, and when anybody from DC or, you know, Virginia, those areas come, you know, are coming, you have to get everything together, make it look all beautiful, because you know that the news is going to be there and this and that. And it's actually quite of a headache. That's why it was so great to be in Hawaii, because of the fact that we didn't have to worry about that. You know, the people in Virginia, stationed in Virginia and stuff like that, they would have to be on point at all given times. Like, we were able to walk off the ship in flip-flops and stuff like that. If you're in Virginia, no, you're not doing that, because, you know, it's only like an hour drive from the big, you know, the big wigs like showing up. And we had time to prepare when we would know that that was happening. But geopolitically, this just, it wasn't a smart move. And then to, you know, he didn't tell the prime minister signing MAGA hats and Make America Great Again stuff, memorabilia type stuff, could actually be a situation, because you're supposed to be apolitical whenever you're in the military, and the president is supposed to do as such. You know, since it's a political slogan, I don't know the whole rules on it, but he's not supposed to do that. Now, they were personal items. They weren't given by, you know, the press, or, you know, they weren't given. Some people were saying that Trump brought them and were giving out the Trump 2020 stuff, and that's not true. I will say that was not true. It was personal items that they already had in their bags or whatever, and they brought them to the ceremony, or, you know, whatever. So that could work in his favor and not get in trouble for that. But I want you to just, please just think about the dangers that he's putting our troops in. And then on top of that, he said that he'd be open to keeping the soldiers in Iraq as a staging area to go back into Syria. I thought we defeated ISIS. Y'all have to see this. You have to be able to see this. It's games. It's theater. It's hard to admit that we were wrong. It's hard to, you know, oh, we had all this hope and now it's lost. But it's not lost. I mean, we have, what we need to do is educate each other to be united. They are strategically dividing us into this left versus right nonsense when they're all working for the same people. Yes, Trump was bailed out of his bankruptcies by the Rothschilds. He was bailed out by Soros to the tune of almost $1 billion. Y'all, we sit there and talk about the Rothschilds and Soros and all of this stuff, but people forget, or they just don't want to see it, that Trump was bailed out of his bankruptcies by them and then installed Wilbur Ross, the one that bailed him out. He was the oversight, whatever, for the Rothschild bankruptcy division, whatever. He's now our Secretary of Commerce. I mean, this isn't 4D chess. This is checkers. And I just want you to really think about this and listen to the words I'm saying, the comments that I read. And I'm going to tell you, I've been deleting comments because I'm tired of the people commenting that didn't even watch the video or that didn't even listen to the words that I've spoken. And then they just ramble on about something I absolutely did not even say. Like, I can't believe you're speaking about our military troops like this. What? I didn't even say anything. I said that we should pull out of Syria 100%. My entire video about Mattis had nothing to do with Mattis resigning or pulling our troops out of Syria. I want our troops to come out of Syria. Nobody thinks we should be in Syria. You gotta be a freaking neocon or tied to the military-industrial complex for that. What I said was, with what he did, yeah, Mattis, resign, cool. But he said he wasn't going to resign until February, giving him the time to do the proper turnover, to do the proper intelligence paperwork, all of these protocols, okay? It wasn't just like, hey, I'm out. But whenever the president read his resignation letter, he got all his feelings all hurt and said, oh, he's gone January 1st. That's what I was talking about. That made him irresponsible, meaning that the left could invoke the 25th. That's what I said. I said he gave them a reason to be able to do that because it could show that he just goes on emotions and not logic. Using emotions rather than logic, or your feelings being hurt, in order to get rid of the Secretary of Defense earlier than which would be, it just shows that it's irresponsible. That's what I'm saying. All they have to do is say he's incompetent, invoking the 25th, because it is a big deal. Everybody, all these comments about, but Obama did it. That's not what I said. But Obama fired him. Mattis can leave. Bye. Check you later. That's not the point. There's protocols that he has to follow so he can properly hand down all of the, okay, you're going to have to do this. This needs to be finished up. This needs to be finished up. But to do it during a shutdown, during the holiday season, and just say, oh, you're out January 1st, does not give him the time. He had meetings to attend that only he had the information that he had to, it's just like anything, you don't just, hey, I'm out. It's not a job at McDonald's, think about it like, if you're in the military, leaving your post without saying, oh, well, there was some sketchy terrorists that were walking down the pier. You have to give proper turnover, okay? And that's what I was trying to convey with people. And they obviously just didn't listen to the words and just were like, Obama did it, Obama did it, Obama did it, Obama did it. What does that have to do with anything? You didn't listen to the words. And, but Hillary, that's silly. I just want y'all to think about your own bias and the safety of our future. And if something's wrong, you call it out as wrong. If something's right, you say, oh, great job. Like I said, great job pulling out of Syria. But now all of a sudden we're using Iraq as a staging ground. What are you going to say now? I don't even know. And I was talking to one of my friends from Pakistan, and I hate to even say this, but the reason that he's talking about pulling out of Afghanistan is because Pakistan refuses to send food and stuff like that for the troops. All of this, you know, like type of things, because they want them out. So it wasn't exactly Trump saying we're pulling out of Afghanistan. It's like Syria. Erdogan called Trump and said, get the out of out of our area. We can handle this. And then with Pakistan saying, we don't want you there, you know, get out of Afghanistan. But everybody's attributing it to Trump making this idea of, he said that to get out. Which, we can say it, whatever, but it's just kind of narcissistic to say that, oh, it was all me. I made all these great deals. When that's not true. You know, just like if there's some awesome research that I find, I say, oh, look, I found this from this person. They did a great job analyzing this. I don't say, oh, I just did all this all on my own. I'm awesome. Look at me. Look at me. I know y'all all know of this. There's a few people and they say, I was the first one. I was the first one. And it's just, you know, you heard it first here type of ridiculousness. But, you know, I don't know. This day and time, people just aren't humble anymore. They want to take credit for everything. Like, oh, look, I went and fed a bunch of people at the homeless shelter. And, like, posting it on social media. Like, why? Why don't you just do it and you don't have to tell anybody? That's what you're supposed to do. So you can get mad, or you can really think about what's going on. And the Dow Jones is really sucking. Our stock, yeah, I know, it's all contrived, but things are not looking good. You can be fearful, whatever. People are like, oh, but you're spreading fear. If you're scared, whatever, that's not my problem. I'm just telling you the truth. Honestly. Alright, guys. Well, I'm going to do another video very soon. I've been working on for a couple days since the blue sky in New York, and I'll have that up soon, or I might go live with it. But y'all have a wonderful day. Like, share, subscribe. Don't be too upset. You need to just think, because I'm just telling the truth. I mean, if you can't handle the truth, then go to fairy tale land. QAnon land. That's fairy tale land. Sorry, it just is. Bye, guys. Y'all have a wonderful day.